This necromancer is not quite right. Introduction. As we all know, the best way to deal with necromancers is to wrap around them and then kill them, because their blood has always been very thin. But who can tell us why this necromancer's blood is so thick? Do you still stack so many shields? Zhao Yuan. I was born with a divine body, so it's reasonable for me to have a thick blood shield, right? However, Plan 1 is not feasible, and there is also Plan 2. As is well known, necromancers only summon some undead creatures and cannot use their own powerful spells. As long as they unite with all the mages and compete with them for spells, they do not believe that they can kill everyone before their magic is exhausted. But who can tell us that the casually released vine forest in front of us is called the most ordinary thorny entanglement? Zhao Yuan. I was born with a divine body, and it's reasonable for me to have high skills and many demons, right? Option 2 is not feasible, and there is also option 3. As we all know, the individual strength of the necromancer is very weak. As long as we apply to fight against him alone, we don't believe that he can kill everyone before he runs out of strength. But who can tell us why this necromancer transformed into a giant and summoned Gundam to attack us? Zhao Yuan. I was born with a divine body, and it's reasonable for me to have infinite strength, right? Hmph, Plan 3 doesn't work, there's Plan 4. If I fall down, there will be an endless number of me standing up and resisting to the end. As we all know. Stop being so well-known. As we all know, it's useless at all. Chapter 1. I have 2 professions. You are listening at novel full.audio. Name. Zhao Yuan, Level 1, Hmph. Hmph. Zhao Yuan was gasping for breath, unable to believe that he had crossed over. He died just because he was fishing and playing games during work hours. Is dying too childish? Is this reasonable? And listening to the sound coming from his mind now, he seems to be loading a golden finger that looks like a game. Occupation. Necromancer. Loading error. Occupation. Druid. Garbled code. Scramble. Repeated occurrence. The 2 consecutive loading failures made Zhao Yuan realize that this golden finger seemed to be the game he was playing while working and fishing. When choosing a profession at that time, Zhao Yuan immediately chose a necromancer. With a flick of his finger, millions of skeleton soldiers emerged from the ground, which was a man's romance. But because the body of the necromancer was too fragile, Zhao Yuan wanted to create another name and use the druid known for his flesh shield to assist. Unexpectedly, this action of his own made it impossible for the golden finger on his feeding mouth to load out. He was really greedy and swallowed an elephant. He wanted everything, but nothing. Occupation. Druid necromancer. Successfully loaded. Health. 50, in garbled, overlapping, rearrange. Health. 400/400, magic value. 300/300, experience value. 0/200, constitution. 2, spirit. 3, agile. 2, power. 2, commander, depending on occupation. 2, current maximum commanding force. 30, current commanding force. 0, disposable free points. 2, special attribute. Lucky. 3, charm. 3, special attributes cannot be upgraded with regular disposable free points. Skill. Skeleton soldier summoning LV1, proficiency. 0 out of 100. Can summon the most ordinary skeleton soldier on a biological corpse at once, consuming 30 mana points, with the highest level being LV9, thorn wrapping LV1, proficiency. 0 out of 100. Can summon ordinary thorns to wrap around a designated person, consuming 20 mana points, with the highest level being LV9, exclusive talent. The bone of the sin domain will finally be king. All negative emotions will be forcibly suppressed, and you will not be affected by emotions, gradually growing into a king who never makes mistakes, Demon King's true eye. Burst, reality. Crush it, spirit. Disappear. This world. At present, the information content of the user can be evaluated in detail or slightly based on their strength unexpectedly. It was a blessing in disguise and cheating. Zhao Yuan carefully examined it several times and memorized his personal attributes and skills. His level is LV1, but his attributes don't seem very low, especially his spirit, reaching 3, and he also has 2 skills. Based on Zhao Yuan's years of experience in reading novels, the overall attribute of an ordinary person should be 1. He was able to have such high attributes from the beginning, as well as 2 obviously different skills, thanks to having 2 professions. Of course, powerful attributes are not the entirety of a person's strength. What Zhao Yuan cares most about is his other 2 exclusive talents, the bone of the Sin domain, which is the king, and the true eye of the Demon King. As is well known, a stable emotion is far more important than a strong body. For example, when a normal person sees the talent introduction of the Demon King's true eye, their feet must have been pushed out of the 3 rooms and 1 living room, but they are only momentarily suppressed by this emotion. Zhao Yuan seriously suspected that the introduction of the second-tier talent of the Demon King's true eye was to give him a clear understanding in advance of how powerful the bone of the Sin domain is. And the power of the Demon King's true eye goes without saying. The obvious growth talent, starting from an epic level growth talent, is simply shining golden. It can be said that with a game panel, 2 complementary professions, double attribute values, and 2 epic level exclusive talents, his future is limitless. However, Zhao Yuan did not have any unnecessary excitement. Obviously, in the perception of the ultimate king in the realm of sin, being overly happy also belongs to negative emotions. As for the 2 disposable free points, Zhao Yuan did not use them immediately. He still doesn't know which attribute is more suitable to add, and he hasn't reached a dangerous moment. If he uses them at this time, he may regret it. After sorting out the situation of Jean Finger, Zhao Yuan observed his body and found that there was no flesh or blood left, but a towering white bone. The snow-white and delicate bones, attached to the deep blue soul fire in the abdomen, constantly jump, and the faint light contrasts with the spotless bones, like exquisite handicrafts made by masters. There is no appearance of a level 1 skeleton cannon fodder soldier at all, but rather a powerful elite monster. Not bad. This is Zhao Yuan's first evaluation of his own situation when he came to a different world, and it also declared his farewell to his past and human identity. With the blessing of the king, Zhao Yuan's ability to accept and withstand pressure increased sharply. To survive, build first. This is Zhao Yuan's experience in playing MC before. No matter whether he is strong or not, he must have a shelter. When encountering heavy storms, he will not be too embarrassed, and to some extent, he can resist foreign enemies. Before building, you need to make the necessary tools to test how strong your body is. Click. Zhao Yuan kicked a branch with his foot that was about the size of a bowl and broke it. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.net tried to feel it and found it to be suitable, so he was satisfied and left. Zhao Yuan selected another wide and long stone that was the size of a mechanical design textbook. He looked left and right and chose the sharper end to strike with another stone. Knock both sides to ensure even force distribution, leave a middle position, and make the end face take the shape of an axe blade. Then place it on a nearby boulder to start grinding, making it increasingly sharp. Zhao Yuan used it to test its power and smashed it fiercely on the nearby tree, leaving a deeper mark. This sharpness is sufficient for both tree cutting and enemy defense, so there is no need to continue grinding. With this thought in mind, Zhao Yuan made a small stone cone using the same method and carved a hole at the end of the branch that had just been kicked off. The hole matched the wide and long stone, forming a continuous shape. Zhao Yuan inserted the stone, felt it, pulled it out, and chiseled a few places that were not right. He repeated this process until he was satisfied. But that's not enough. Zhao Yuan put a small amount of fine wood shavings in the surroundings to increase friction, and then put the stones in. They got stuck tightly and wouldn't loosen due to waving, affecting the force. Finally, Zhao Yuan used vines to fix both ends, making it difficult to fall out. I feel uncomfortable holding it. After adding the weight of the stone blade, Zhao Yuan felt something wrong when waving it. He then used a stone cone to sharpen one end of the grip, roughly a small circle, and the surface became rough. He stopped his hand movements. Zhao Yuan felt right when using this stone axe again at this moment. First time making a simple stone axe alone, experience, plus 15, experience value. 15/200. Chapter 2. Wolf Pack Attack. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Can making a stone axe also reward experience points? Will creating another one reward experience points again? Zhao Yuan was delighted to see this plus 15 experience value, as this non-dangerous method of increasing experience was crucial in the early stages. Make good use of it, perhaps you can safely get through the most difficult early stages. However, this also indicates that the first time a simple stone axe is made separately, it only gives 15 experience points. If the second or third time, the reward will most likely be halved or even less. But making a few more is not at a disadvantage. When in the wilderness, there are always many unexpected situations, so keep them as a backup for unexpected needs. Due to one experience, Zhao Yuan was also familiar with the craft and soon succeeded in making another stone axe. Create a simple stone axe separately, experience, plus 1, experience value. 16/200, is there only one experience point left? Zhao Yuan did not feel any sense of disappointment, just felt that it was not worth it. But what if we replace it with a stone tool? All stone tools are in the same lineage, as long as the stone is changed in a different shape, it is logically another stone tool. So, Zhao Yuan chiseled the stones into another form and copied them step by step to make a stone pick. First time making a simple stone pick independently, experience, plus 10, experience value. 26/200, sure enough. After seeing that the method was feasible, Zhao Yuan immediately started making other stone tools without stopping. When he couldn't remember any stone tools, he changed the single dot-sided stone axe to a double dot-sided stone axe, and the shoulder stone hoe to a waist-tied stone hoe. Surprisingly, he successfully increased his experience points by 8 points. First time making a simple stone hoe independently, experience, plus 10, first time making a simple stone pick independently, experience, plus 10, first time making a simple stone shovel alone, experience, plus 10, first time making a simple stone sickle alone, experience, plus 10, first time making a simple double dot-sided stone axe independently, experience, plus 8, experience value. 120/200, create 10 different stone tools at once, activate skill. Forge LV1, proficiency. 2 out of 100. Can make forging techniques more skilled, the finished product more durable, and the highest level is LV9. Zhao Yuan has created a total of 12 different stone tools and successfully activated a skill. It seems that making a stone tool can increase proficiency, and the skill effect looks quite good. At this moment, the sky gradually darkened, and the gentle breeze rustled. The spiritual fire in Zhao Yuan's belly shook and tugged uncontrollably, giving off a hint of coolness. Will this body still feel cold? Originally, Zhao Yuan thought he had turned into a bone, so there should be no distinction between inflammation and coldness, but he didn't expect it to still exist. However, it is also reasonable. After all, it is a biological organism, and it is abnormal to not have a feeling of inflammation and cold. It was his previous assumption. With this thought in mind, Zhao Yuan used a stone axe to chop down more than 10 trees, each as wide as one person's embrace, and simply pushed them around him to block the cold wind while also being able to resist external enemies to a certain extent. We still need to start a fire. Zhao Yuan used a stone sickle to cut off the branches of the tree and threw them aside, ready to use as firewood. Just as he had cut down all the branches on the dozen or so fallen trees, another word came to mind. Activate a daily task, strike 200 times, completed, update at midnight every day, strength, plus 0.1, constitution, plus 0.1. At this point, Zhao Yuan saw that his strength and physique had reached 2.1, and when his physique became 2.1, his health increased from 400 to 420. It can be seen that his physique and health have a relationship of 1.200, which should be attributed to the bonus of the druid. Zhao Yuan's health seems a bit abnormal. It seems that the golden finger function I have obtained is even more powerful than I imagined. Zhao Yuan couldn't help but murmur, not only can he upgrade and complete tasks with points added, but now his strength and physique can each increase by 0.1 points per day. Since strength and physique have their own exclusive daily tasks, the other three attributes should not be lacking. So there is a possibility that the daily tasks of the other three attributes have not been activated. If a simple swing can activate daily tasks related to agility, perhaps running can do it. Zhao Yuan thought for a moment and decided to give it a try, but before trying, he had to start the fire because it was too cold. Sitting in front of a branch, Zhao Yuan would definitely not use the most difficult method of making a fire by drilling wood with bare hands, which is time-consuming and laborious, and may not necessarily succeed. Replacing it with a bow drill to start the fire can be much faster, but the preparation work is too long. Zhao Yuan didn't have enough time or materials, so he took a stone axe, split one end of the branch, and used small stones to spread the cracks, then stuffed hay and dry bark inside and below. Subsequently, Zhao Yuan used a vine about 2 feet long to penetrate a crack in the branch, making close contact with the hay. His feet pressed tightly on the branch and quickly twitched the vine left and right, causing it to rub and heat up. 5 or 6 minutes later, a faint flame finally emerged and gradually grew larger, burning hot. The flames danced and reflected Zhao Yuan's figure on the ground, making him, who was already somewhat cold, warm. It seems that the method of using this vine to make fire is not very easy either. We need to see tomorrow where flint can be found. Zhao Yuan sighed from this, saying that anything is eliminated for a reason. After the fire was ignited, Zhao Yuan started running around the fire, like a primitive person celebrating by the campfire, but the scene was more revealing. Yu reading www.uukangshu.net. After running for about half an hour, as expected by Zhao Yuan, a paragraph of text reappeared in his mind. Activate a daily task, run 10,000 meters, completed, updated at midnight every day, agile, plus 0.1, that's right, if all of these can be added, then the spirit and commander attributes must also have their own daily tasks, but these two attributes should be linked to magic consumption and military strength. Zhao Yuan's current magic value is very low, only enough to use skills more than 10 times, which is life-saving. Moreover, he is still in the wilderness at night, so in such a dangerous situation, he cannot be consumed at will. As for the deployment of troops, there are no skeletal corpses of animals near Zhao Yuan, and skeleton soldiers cannot be summoned. Therefore, we can only give up trying to activate the daily tasks of spirit and command attributes and return to the fire to prepare to sleep. Zhao Yuan is not an authentic skeleton soldier and naturally needs rest. However, just as he was immersed in the warm flames, a deep howl sounded. Ah, whoa! Is this wolf howling? Upon hearing the sound, Zhao Yuan immediately jumped up vigilantly. In the forest, due to the howl of a wolf, the pitch-black tree shadows appeared even more eerie in the moonlight. Gradually, green light flickered in the darkness, and this unique green light, like a curse from hell, gave them an unparalleled terrifying aura. As the green light approached, under the illumination of the campfire, their true colors were revealed, and they were indeed wolf packs. They wriggled their bodies, like ghosts in the darkness, their low growls echoing in the forest, condensing the air into a cohesive mass. Their wolf teeth emitted a cold light, like the sharp blade of death, approaching step by step, revealing a bone craving for Zhao Yuan in their eyes. Chapter 3. Upgrading. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This greedy, concrete gaze seems to have a deadly desire for the bones of the undead in this world. Zhao Yuan felt a hint of fear in his heart, and his bones trembled for a moment, but he was soon suppressed and forced to become calm. The wolf pack quickly surrounded Zhao Yuan, with sharp teeth ready to tear apart his bones at any moment. In the darkness, the wolf teeth flickered like blades in the moonlight, unreal and terrifying, like hunters in the darkness, with a wild and fierce look in their eyes. They were pounding Zhao Yuan's nerves, trying to disrupt his thoughts. Zhao Yuan clenched the stone axe in his hand, his eyes firm. He knew that only by maintaining calmness and focus can he overcome the difficulties in front of him. Let's first identify their properties. Magic Wolf, Constitution. 1. Spirit. 0.5, Agile. 1.3, Power. 1.2, Comment. They seem to be very interested in the bones on your body. Wolf Copper Head, Iron Bone, Tofu Waist. I think you should know what to do. Magic Wolf Little Leader, Constitution. 2.3, Spirit. 1.1, Agile. 2.5, Power. 1.8, After identification, Zhao Yuan found that these wolves were only terrifying in appearance and their strength was not very strong. Except for the leading demon wolf, which had relatively high attributes, all other attributes were not high, but the number was as many as 18, exceeding the normal range. Perhaps due to the cooling weather, or perhaps because there are already many wolf packs in this world, it is very difficult for him to cope with them with his current strength. So. System, add some points. Constitution. 2.13.1, Agile. 2.13.1, Health. 420-620, Zhao Yuan added some attributes to his physical fitness and agility, and a surge of heat surged through his body. The enhancement of his strength made him full of confidence. As long as he handled it carefully, he could even achieve 18 kills. It's better to start first than to suffer later. If the wolf pack were to set up their formation before attacking, it would be too late. Shwa. Zhao Yuan threw a stone sickle and hit one of the demon wolves. The head of the demon wolf was instantly pierced, and blood flowed down, but it did not die. Instead, its eyes became even more fierce. Due to the fire source next to Zhao Yuan, coupled with the fact that the wolf did not send an attack signal, it dared not act recklessly. It didn't move, and Zhao Yuan was about to move. He picked up a torch in one hand and quickly grabbed a stone axe from the ground, fiercely chopping at the neck of the demon wolf. The sudden surge of power was extraordinary, causing the stone axe to strike into the flesh and blood of the demon wolf 10 centimeters deep with just one strike, and die in despair. Successfully killed a demon wolf, experience, plus 10, experience value. 130 out of 200, kill 7 more heads and you can level up. Zhao Yuan threw a torch into the wolf pack, causing them to scatter in all directions. Taking this opportunity, he quickly pulled out the stone sickle and axe and threw them at one of the demon wolves. The power of this sickle and axe is incomparable to the opponent's small demon wolf. With just one glance, the opponent falls into a pool of blood. Successfully killed a demon wolf, experience, plus 10, summoning of skeleton soldiers. Zhao Yuan concentrated his spirit, with a hint of indifference in his eyes. He consumed 60 points of magic and summoned 2 skeleton soldiers from the corpses of 2 magic wolves. Skeleton Soldier, Level 1, Constitution. 1, Spirit. 1, Agile. 1, Power. 1, Evaluation. They are absolutely loyal to you, even if they sacrifice their lives. These 2 skeleton soldiers hunched their bodies and transformed from the flesh and blood of the demon wolf. Although they were not as bright as Zhao Yuan, who looked at the white jade, they were also pure, with empty eyes, but revealed a fierce killing intent, like envoys of death. Even if they were not given orders, they immediately targeted the nearest two demon wolves and attacked them. Thorns entangle. Originally, those two demon wolves wanted to resist when the skeleton soldiers attacked, but soon their limbs were entangled by more than 10 thorns, unable to move and enduring the torment of thrusting, falling into a continuous state of bleeding. Schwa. Two skeleton soldiers fiercely pounced on the demon wolves, grabbing their heads, biting their necks, sucking on their blood, like demons crawling out of hell, terrifying. Roar. After struggling on the edge of death for a few seconds, the two demon wolves let out a mournful and desperate howl. Their limbs were tangled in thorns, their necks were also bitten by skeleton soldiers, and their bodies were covered in dense wounds. Some of the wounds were visible deep in the bones, which was shocking to see. Successfully killed a demon wolf, experience, +10, successfully killed a demon wolf, experience, +10, summoning of skeleton soldiers. Upon seeing this, Zhao Yuan summoned two skeleton soldiers again and joined the battle. It must be said that the fight between the necromancer was so unreasonable. The less others fought, the more he fought. In just a few seconds, Zhao Yuan had 4 more loyal subordinates, while the pack of demon wolves had 4 less brothers who had gone through life and death. However, his magic was indeed useless, and his magic value had already been depleted by more than half. Ah! The leader of the demon wolf roared angrily and rushed towards Zhao Yuan. The other demon wolves also rushed towards him one by one, but he dodged them all and wrapped thorns around the front demon wolf, letting the 4 skeleton soldiers charge and bite. After confirming the death of the opponent, he then summoned the skeleton soldiers to increase his own strength. Due to the limited magic value, Zhao Yuan used thorn entanglement twice more to summon 3 skeleton soldiers, leaving only 10 magic points and unable to use any skills. But there are only 10 points left until the upgrade. Drink. Zhao Yuan suddenly struck with a stone axe, killing the oncoming demon wolf and receiving 10 experience points. Successfully killed a demon wolf, UU Red Book www.uukangshu. Net experience, +10, experience full, upgrade. 1-2, disposable free points. 0-2, all negative states have been eliminated, full health and magic points restored, health. 620/620, magic value. 300/300, surprisingly, upgrading can restore full health and magic points, eliminating all negative states. Zhao Yuan immediately summoned a skeleton soldier from the corpse of the demon wolf in front of him. And after witnessing the terror of his skills and the lack of durability in his magic value, Zhao Yuan added all the 2 disposable free points he gained to his spirit. Spirit. 3-5, magic value. 300/500, the magic value did not fully recover after adding points, it only increased by 200, and there are currently 470 points. But it's also enough. Thorns entangle. Zhao Yuan repeatedly released 10 thorns to entangle all the remaining demon wolves, including the demon wolf leader, and then commanded his 8 skeleton soldiers to work with him to kill all 9 demon wolves except for the demon wolf leader. Roar. In an instant, the howls of the wolf pack intertwined with the cries of the skeleton soldiers, and the forest in the dark became a battlefield of bloody battles. Summoning of skeleton soldiers. Zhao Yuan used the remaining 270 magic points to summon 9 skeleton soldiers, a total of 17 skeleton soldiers. Along with him, he surrounded the leader of the demon wolf and stared at the opponent with fierce eyes. Just like before, the leader of the demon wolves, along with his 17 subordinates, stared at Zhao Yuan with fierce eyes. At that moment, just like this moment. Chapter 4. Travel. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Activate a daily task, use 30 skills, completed, update at midnight every day, spirit, +0.1, spirit. 5.5.1, magic value. 500/510, it's really an unexpected joy, and it also activated the exclusive daily tasks of the spirit. As Zhao Yuan stared at the leader of the demon wolf, he realized that he had added another daily task. He was overjoyed and did not intend to torture the other party. Instead, he let the skeleton soldiers surround him with justice until his death. Give it a face. Successfully killed a demon wolf leader, experience, plus 40, Zhao Yuan, level 2, experience value 130/300, occupation Druid Necromancer, health 620/620, magic value 10/510, constitution 3.1, spirit 5.1, agile 3.1, power 2.1, commander 2, current maximum commanding force 30, current commanding force 17, disposable free points 0, special attribute lucky 3, charm 3, special attributes cannot be upgraded with regular disposable free points, skill skeleton soldier summoning LV1, proficiency 17/100. Can summon the most ordinary skeleton soldier on a creature's body at once, consuming 30 mana points, with the highest level being LV9, thorn wrapping LV1, proficiency 14/100. Can summon ordinary thorns to wrap around a designated person, consuming 20 mana points, with the highest level being LV9, forging LV1, proficiency 2 out of 100. Can make forging techniques more proficient, the finished product more durable, and the highest level is LV9, exclusive talent. The bone of the sin domain will finally be king. All negative emotions will be forcibly suppressed, and you will not be affected by emotions, gradually growing into a king who never makes mistakes, Demon King's true eye. Currently, based on the user's strength, the information content of the other party can be evaluated in detail or slightly. In just one battle, Zhao Yuan's strength underwent a complete transformation, giving him a hint of wild survival arrogance. Being stronger should have been a simple act of arrogance, but he was quickly suppressed again. Even if it's just a little harmless pride now, the bones of the realm of sin will never be allowed to exist as a king. The king can never be influenced by emotions. Now all 4 attributes have their own exclusive daily tasks, but they don't have a leader yet, and I don't know how to activate them. Zhao Yuan, who had calmed down his emotions, began to reflect on the recent battle. While the rewards he received from the battle were certainly joyful, the experience and lessons learned were the most valuable. For example, in the recent battle, Zhao Yuan's magic value was not enough. If he had added 1 or 2 points to his spirit at the beginning, it might have been more calm. But he had a preconceived belief that the other 3 items were the most important in battle, and this erroneous understanding needs to be corrected. Skills and magic points are the true king's way. Of course, the attribute of commanding is also very important. In the battle just now, his skeleton soldiers played an extremely important role, which is also the key to why the necromancer was powerful. In the later stage, with a flick of his finger, millions of skeleton soldiers rose up from the ground and pushed forward in a mighty manner. Thinking about that scene, how shocking it would be. In contrast, the other 3 attributes are somewhat unimportant, let alone completing daily tasks, which can increase by 0.1. Zhao Yuan decided to add disposable free points to both Spirit and Commander unless necessary. If the exclusive daily tasks of the leader never appear, or if they really don't exist at all, then Zhao Yuan will focus more on the leader between the Spirit and the leader. In the recent battle, Zhao Yuan also realized what the ancient said, 1 inch long, 1 inch strong, and 1 inch short, 1 inch dangerous. The stone tools he had previously made only considered survival buildings and were not suitable for combat. If this time a single powerful monster comes, he will definitely not be able to find a bargain with a stone axe. Tomorrow, during the day, he will first find a cave dwelling and then build 19 spears to equip each skeleton soldier and himself. After all, The body of the demon wolf leader needs to be utilized once it has magic value. With one more skeleton soldier and oneself, there will naturally be 19. With such thoughts in mind, Zhao Yuan ordered the skeleton soldiers to be vigilant beside him, and if any monsters approached, they would immediately kill them. Afterwards, they fell asleep peacefully. Anyway, the skeleton soldier doesn't need to rest and can work 24 hours without any problem. In addition, he is loyal to Zhao Yuan and doesn't have to worry about falling asleep and being hung by a streetlight. It was dawn. Last night was Christmas Eve, and Zhao Yuan opened his eyes and stretched lazily. He found that his magic value had returned to full, his experience had increased by 50 points, and there were 5 more corpses of magic wolves on the ground. You don't have to guess, it was killed by one's own skeleton soldiers last night. Experience value 180/300, Summoning of Skeleton Soldiers. Zhao Yuan consumed 180 magic points and summoned 6 skeleton soldiers from the corpses of the demon wolves. Even the corpses of the demon wolf leaders did not enhance the skeleton soldiers. It seems that this skill does not depend on the quality of the summoning materials. This is a bad thing, but also a good thing. Take the stone tool. After Zhao Yuan gave the order, the skeleton soldiers would pick up the stone tools on the ground one after another, but those that were not picked up. The skeleton's head froze for a while, and they grabbed a stone and held it in their arms, which was also considered a stone tool. It's much smarter than I imagined. Yu reading www.uukangshu. Net, because the bones of the realm of sin were ultimately blessed by the king, Zhao Yuan was already relieved when he encountered such a situation. As long as there was no expectation, everything was a surprise. Subsequently, Zhao Yuan led his group of subordinates to march forward in a grand manner. The purpose of this trip is to find caves that can be inhabited. Generally speaking, naturally formed caves are not as spacious and comfortable as movies and TV dramas, and there is also a considerable flat space. Most of them are vertically deep and very narrow, which cannot accommodate people. But when Zhao Yuan was looking for stones and chopping tree branches yesterday, he found that the surrounding environment was rugged and uneven, with splendid rocks and towering peaks. There were occasional stone chutes and stone forests, which looked very much like karst landforms. This type of landform is mostly found in areas with carbonate rock distribution, eroded by rainwater or groundwater, and often features underground rivers, karst caves, and other phenomena. What Zhao Yuan is looking for is a small karst cave, which usually consists of narrow passages and spacious flat spaces, suitable for living. Sure enough, after arriving at the place, Zhao Yuan saw more clearly and found that the surface rock layers were thousands of grooves and gullies, which were the result of long-term dissolution and erosion. However, there were also many forests and vegetation covered, which was not the classic exposed karst, but rather a covered karst. There were definitely karst caves nearby. However, there are caves that belong to all. Zhao Yuan searched for a long time but did not find a suitable cave to live in. Either it was too big, and he could not be sure if there was any danger inside, so he did not rush in. When it became stronger in the future, it was not too late to explore again. Either it's too small to accommodate a few people, Zhao Yuan sighed. Finding a suitable cave to live in the wilderness is really a difficult task. However, at this moment, Zhao Yuan noticed several demon wolves active not far away. Chapter 5. My heart is good, and I cannot see these things. You are listening at novelfull.audio. There are also demon wolf activities in this place. Zhao Yuan quickly asked the skeleton soldiers to lie on the ground, so that the distant demon wolves wouldn't notice. The skeleton soldiers immediately all lay down, even blindfolded themselves, as if as long as they couldn't see, others couldn't see either. I really wanted to doze off, so I came with a pillow. Wolves, in the animal kingdom of Zhao Yuan's previous life, were very cunning and intelligent, with a clear social hierarchy in social animals. That is to say, if 1 or 2 wolves are seen in the wild, it means there will definitely be other wolves nearby, and if there are wolf packs, there is a place to live. According to what happened last night, this world must also be like this. Now as long as you keep a close eye on those wolves, you will definitely be able to find their place of residence, occupy it for yourself, and also receive a wave of experience and skeleton soldiers. After quietly lurking for about half an hour, Zhao Yuan led his skeleton soldiers and finally waited for those few demon wolves to return to his territory. As expected, their territory was a karst cave, which looked just right in size. A mother wolf was lying lazily on the ground with her little wolves, but the little wolves couldn't stay idle and were playing happily. One of the larger demon wolves, lying majestically in the middle of this group of mother and little wolves, should be the leader of this wolf pack. In wolf packs, only their eldest can have the right to reproduce, firstly to maintain their own status and power, and secondly to ensure the quality and quantity of their offspring. After all, if other members are allowed to mate, they will lose their special status and influence in the wolf pack, become chaotic and divided, and even make their children unable to become leaders. The other male wolves, on the other hand, stood vigilantly patrolling the outskirts. When they saw the male wolves coming back from outside, they carefully smelled their scent and found that there was no odor. They then looked at the ground behind them, but there were still no other creatures approaching before letting them in. A few demon wolves entered the territory and after staring at the leader for a while, they seemed to have received an order and lay on the outskirts of the territory, resting while also taking into account the danger from outside. 1, 2, 3. 12, 13, if we don't include the little wolves, even if we have 9 adult magic wolves, we can also consider a large wolf pack. Zhao Yuan counted the number of magic wolves in the wolf pack, and then used the Demon King's true eye to identify their attributes. Except for the leader of the magic wolf who was a bit strong, the attributes of the other magic wolves were only around 1. Magic wolf little leader, Constitution. 2.1, Spirit. 1, Agile. 2.3, Power. 1.7, this strength is not as good as last night's wolf pack. Zhao Yuan has more subordinates than them, so there is no need to be afraid. He immediately uses 9 thorny entanglement skills to brush his daily tasks, entangle all adult demon wolves, and then orders his 23 skeleton soldiers to charge forward and easily kill them all. Successfully killed a demon wolf, experience, plus 10, successfully killed a demon wolf, experience, plus 10, successfully killed a demon wolf leader, experience, plus 40, experience value. 250/300, oh, oh, oh. The remaining 4 little wolves screamed in terror and rushed to their parents, holding their corpses on their heads. They refused to accept the fact that they had already died and licked their heads with their red tongues, thinking that as long as they did, they would wake up like before. Unfortunately, it's already impossible. What a pitiful group of demon wolves, sigh. Watching the little wolves lick their parents in an attempt to wake them up, Zhao Yuan sighed. If it weren't for finding a suitable cave, these little wolves wouldn't have caused their families to fall apart. They were young and separated from their parents by yin and yang. Zhao Yuan was kind-hearted, but he couldn't bear to see these suffocating and sad things. He used his 4 thorny entanglement skills and directly sent them to reunite with his parents. Successfully killed 4 underage magic wolves, experience, plus 4, experience value. 254/300, after solving all the demon wolves, Zhao Yuan summoned 7 skeleton soldiers and pulled the remaining corpses aside for later use. It's not because his magic value is not enough, but because his current maximum commanding force can only summon up to 30 skeleton soldiers. Subsequently, Zhao Yuan inspected the cave and looked inside, everything was quite suitable. He lit several torches on the stone wall and placed a bed in the corner to make the room more gentle and ready to live. As for the other 30 skeleton soldiers, they are orthodox undead creatures who do not need to rest or eat. They are afraid of cold and heat like him and do not even need to sleep in bed. When the time comes, Zhao Yuan will arrange for a few people to stand in the room to protect his safety, and the other skeleton soldiers will be patrolled outside. With such thoughts in mind, Zhao Yuan nodded in satisfaction. No wonder his boss laughed every day in his past life. With so many people to command, he couldn't even cry. We can start making stone spears now. Zhao Yuan first asked the skeleton soldiers to find long sticks with suitable diameters and lengths, and waved each stick vigorously to test its feel. If there were any discomfort, he used a stone cone to trim them. Then, let the skeleton soldiers choose sturdy and moderately heavy stones, use a stone hammer to smash them into a cone, making one end sharp, so as to increase the piercing force of the stone spear. After everything was completed, Zhao Yuan first made a sample and asked the skeleton soldiers to stand by and learn from the book garden www.zhaozhuiyuan.com. He inserted the stone spear head into one end of the handle and fixed them with rattan to ensure that the stone spear head was tightly connected to the handle to prevent it from loosening or falling off. First time making a simple stone spear, experience, +8, experience value. 262 of 300, because I didn't make this spear alone, do I only have 8 experience points. Looking at the text that came to mind, Zhao Yuan asked the skeleton soldiers to create it themselves, ready to give it a try. If they were to create stone spears, would there be an increase in experience points? After all, even if he comes to craft the spear now, he can only increase his experience points by a little. If he were to deduct it again, I don't know if he would have it. But not to mention, just by looking at it once, the skeleton soldiers imitated it very well, making stone spears without any problems. Soon, they produced 30 more. Collaborated to produce 30 simple stone spears, experience, +15, experience value. 277/300, although the experience has been cut off by half, at least there has been an increase in experience. Zhao Yuan is still satisfied with this and can allow the skeleton soldiers to mass produce. So, Zhao Yuan utilized the experience of previous factories to create a specialized production line for stone spears composed of skeleton soldiers, which was born. Finding wood, finding stones, smashing stone cones, connecting stone spears, dividing labor and cooperating, one piece after another, and being made. Zhao Yuan carefully inspected the quality and stability of each stone spear product. If there were any problems, he would adjust the sharpness of the stone spear head or adjust the length of the handle material to achieve the highest possible standard. After all, this is for killing enemies, so we cannot be careless. And his experience value also began to rise when the stone spears were made one by one. Chapter 6. Hate, Desire, and Becoming. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After about an hour, Zhao Yuan's level broke through to level 3. However, before the quick upgrade, Zhao Yuan used 7 skeleton soldier summons and 15 thorn entanglement skills out of thin air to complete his daily spiritual tasks, as well as improve his skill proficiency. After upgrading, his state was fully restored, and his magic value was not in vain. But under normal circumstances, Zhao Yuan would not misuse it in case of emergencies. For him, the magic value to some extent determines his life. Use skill 30 times, completed, updated daily at midnight, spirit, +0.1, spirit. 5.15.2, magic value. 510-520, Zhao Yuan, level. 3, experience value. 7/400, disposable free points. 2, Zhao Yuan thought for a moment and added 2 disposable free points to the leader. Commander. 2-4, current maximum commanding force. 60, current commanding force. 30, seeing that the current maximum commanding force had reached 60, Zhao Yuan immediately used the skeleton soldier summoning skill to summon 4 skeleton soldiers from the corpses of the demon wolves. It seems that at the summoning of the skeleton soldier, 2 little wolves are equivalent to 1 adult demon wolf. Current commanding force. 34, skill. Skeleton soldier summons LV1, proficiency. 17/100, proficiency. 41 out of 100, thorn winding LV1, proficiency. 14/100, proficiency. 42 out of 100, watching his attribute panel gradually become stronger, Zhao Yuan was also full of motivation and began to complete the remaining 2 daily tasks. About an hour later, those 2 daily tasks were also completed. 200 times, completed, updated daily at midnight, running 10,000 meters, completed, updated daily at midnight, agile, plus 0.1, strength, plus 0.1, constitution, plus 0.1, constitution. 3.13.2, agile. 3.13.2, power. 2.12.2, health. 620-640, after completing the daily task check.In, Zhao Yuan began preparing to make his own bed alone. In the wilderness, if you want to be lazy, just lie down on a flat ground and use it as a bed to sleep, or find a bed of branches and hay, and you can do it without hurting your butt. Although Zhao Yuan no longer has a buttocks, he will still suffer from bone damage. He is planning to live here for a long time, so the production of this bed is naturally careless. It is even better than a dry grass bed, which is a wooden or stone bed. Laying some hay on the stone bed is indeed very comfortable to sleep on, but its production difficulty is too high, it is not easy to move, and there is no suitable boulder or platform. Zhao Yuan eliminated it immediately. But ordinary wooden beds are prone to moisture and insects. Although Zhao Yuan doesn't care much, he doesn't want to intentionally disgust himself. So, bamboo beds may be the optimal solution now. Zhao Yuan grabbed the stone axe, got up, and walked out. He summoned 10 skeleton soldiers to search for the bamboo forest. In no time, he found a green bamboo forest in the open space under the short stone cliff. Seeing this scene, Zhao Yuan swung his axe and swung it over, while the other skeleton soldiers saw their master doing so and also started chopping bamboo. In the end, each of them carried it back to the cave. And having bamboo alone is definitely not enough. Zhao Yuan went nearby and chopped down 6 forked tree trunks to use as pillars, but when he saw that the ground was covered in rocks, he made a mistake and couldn't even penetrate the tree trunks. After thinking for a while, Zhao Yuan brought a big stone, surrounded the trunk of the tree, and tied it tightly with vines. He then took another photo, although it was not as strong as being planted on the ground, it was not used to build a house, and it was not placed outside to be exposed to wind and rain. It was just enough to sleep. So, Zhao Yuan placed the chopped bamboo on the fixed trunk, and slowly ground the excess with a stone sickle. After finishing the outer frame, he used a stone to knock out a gap at the top of the ground bamboo pole, and miraculously split it in half. After repeated this process, he created more than 10 pieces. Zhao Yuan laid these dozen or so bamboo poles horizontally on the shelf, creating a simple model of the bedboard. He then measured the length of the bedboard using corner materials and cut the remaining bamboo poles into the same length. Not too many, 4 or 5 were enough. With one end of the cut bamboo pole pressed against the ground, Zhao Yuan used a stone to knock on the other end. However, this time, the gap should not be too large, and the middle position also needs to be dug out one by one. At this moment, he needs to pay attention to the strength and not smash the bamboo open. Then, he gently tapped the bamboo with a wooden stick to slowly crack open and find the feeling of the lotus root being cut and connected. He opened one of the gaps and laid it flat on the bed frame without completely scattering it. Following the previous method of replication, Zhao Yuan covered the bed frame and presented the shape of a bamboo bedboard. Finally, using thin bamboo strips, the various connection points of the bedboard were fixed and tied, and a pre-prepared pile of hay was laid on top. This completed the production of a simple frame bed. First time making a simple bamboo bed independently, experience plus 20, experience value. 57 out of 400, the experience points added this time were quite significant, and Zhao Yuan was very satisfied with it. He tried to sleep in bed for a while without any abnormal noise and felt quite comfortable. He got out of bed and went outside to continue checking the quality of each stone spear product. Unconsciously, time arrived at night again, and according to Zhao Yuan's estimation, the finished products of the stone spears had been made approximately 300. Experience value. 147/400, Forged LV1, Proficiency. 2/100, Forged LV2, Proficiency. 52/200. Can make forging techniques more proficient, the finished product more durable, and the highest level is LV9, has the skill level of the stone tools made by the skeleton soldier also been halved and forged at the book garden www.zhaoyuan.com. Zhao Yuan didn't expect that even his skeleton soldier subordinates could replace him in terms of proficiency, and he was very pleased with the success of this. The experience gained from manufacturing stone tools decreases. Create 2 previously manufactured stone tools separately to gain some experience, and collaborate to manufacture 4 previously manufactured stone tools to gain some experience. The bad news is that the act of pulling wool was stopped by Golden Finger, but the good news is that it was not completely stopped. Faced with this change, Zhao Yuan did not experience any turbulence in his heart, as it was also within his expectations. Subsequently, Zhao Yuan began to use his bow and diamond to draw fire expressionlessly, starting a fire and lighting nearly 30 torches. After all, the method of using a bow and diamond to make fire is a bit difficult. Skeleton soldiers cannot learn it, so they can only do it themselves. After completion, Zhao Yuan placed 5 torches in his room, and gave all the remaining torches to the skeleton soldiers, allowing them to patrol the periphery while the other part was arranged to continue working overtime to make stone spears. This matter of steadily increasing experience cannot be stopped. Anyway, the skeleton soldiers don't need to rest. If they don't work for nothing, let them rest. Isn't it a waste of time? No, this cannot be called not letting them rest. It is honing them, allowing them to learn production experience and work harder in the future. That's right. This is the correct solution. Why does Zhao Yuan not allow other creatures to work overtime? Is it because they are not under Zhao Yuan's command? Shallow. Why didn't Zhao Yuan find them as subordinates? What he is doing now, without any selfishness, is entirely for the better life of the skeleton soldiers in the future. Looking at the busy subordinates of the skeleton soldiers, Zhao Yuan seemed to have seen his past life and lay contentedly in bed. Chapter 7. Big-Headed Magic Bee. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I forgot about finding flint while making a bamboo bed today. Tomorrow, I'll take action, otherwise it will take too much time to start a fire. Zhao Yuan didn't realize until he lay on the bamboo bed that he had forgotten something important. He planned to go find flint tomorrow morning so that the skeleton soldiers could quickly start a fire. As the owner of a group of skeleton soldiers, Zhao Yuan was almost moved to tears by his actions as he found things to do for himself every day. And tonight, it's another Christmas Eve. In the morning, Zhao Yuan found 7 more bodies of magic wolves on the periphery, one of which was still small in size. Successfully killed a demon wolf, experience, +10, successfully killed a demon wolf, experience, +10, successfully killed a demon wolf leader, experience, +40, collaborated to produce 440 simple stone spears, experience, +110, forging LV2, proficiency. 52/200, forging LV3, proficiency. 52/400. Can make forging techniques more proficient, resulting in more refined products, with the highest level being LV9, the proficiency score obtained from manufacturing stone tools decreases. Creating 2 previously manufactured stone tools separately earns a little proficiency score, and collaborating to manufacture 4 previously manufactured stone tools earns a little proficiency score. Experience value. 357/400, there were still quite a few things that happened overnight. Zhao Yuan didn't expect his skeleton soldier subordinates to be so diligent. Yesterday's experience points were still a long way from leveling up, and today there are only 5 magic wolves left to level up. The forging skill has also increased from level 2 to level 3, and the finished products he makes alone will become more exquisite. Although his proficiency value has been halved, Zhao Yuan is also satisfied. So, Zhao Yuan, who was in a good mood, prepared to reward the skeleton soldiers for continuing to work 24 hours without rest. There are still quite a few demon wolves here, and the skeleton soldiers can kill a few every night. Looking at the corpses of the demon wolves on the ground, Zhao Yuan murmured, inferring that there may be many wolf packs nearby, and that this is a fantasy world, and even the existence of the Wolf King who leads all the wolf packs cannot be ruled out. After all, the several demon wolf leaders that Zhao Yuan has killed so far are all named Little Demon Wolf leaders. From the name alone, there should be the existence of the Big Demon Wolf leader and the Demon Wolf King. If there are too many demon wolves in a wolf pack, it is not conducive to unity, but if they are divided and managed in a hierarchical manner, perhaps their territory can become unprecedentedly vast. Of course, all of this is just Zhao Yuan's conjecture about the habits of the unknown world demon wolf, which may not be correct. For example, there was no such incredible thing in the past life. But if Zhao Yuan's conjecture is correct, then his situation is still a bit dangerous. However, Zhao Yuan is not prepared to leave here, not because of the gambler mentality of putting himself in danger amidst wealth and wealth. 1. You cannot take risks. At least for a king who has not yet grown up, you cannot take risks. There are 3 reasons for Zhao Yuan. Firstly, this conjecture may not be correct. Secondly, he does not know how large the territory of the Demon Wolf King is. He will move around and stay on his territory all the time, which is not a waste of work. The more he moves, the closer he may be to the Demon Wolf King. The third reason is that his skeleton soldiers had 30.4 subordinates, which were too conspicuous when moved. His original existence had not yet been exposed, but as a result, his movement was exposed earlier. So, if you have time to move, it's better to quickly strengthen yourself and increase the number of skeleton soldiers under your command, which is the optimal solution. No matter how many magic wolves come, they will be used to increase their experience points and summon skeleton soldiers. Escaping, no matter when, is always the last resort of a helpless choice. Summoning of skeleton soldiers. Zhao Yuan summoned 7 skeleton soldiers using the body of a demon wolf, bringing his number of subordinates to 40.1. 30 skeleton soldiers were left to make stone spears while guarding the territory. The remaining 11, along with more than 60 stone spears, followed him to search for flint. Searching for flint is not a blind search, without targeted search, it is like looking for a needle in a haystack, relying on elusive luck. This is a very irrational behavior. If the direction is wrong, it may take 10.5 days to find it. Due to its resistance to weathering and chemicals, flint can be searched in river beds or other rocky areas. Finding places with a lot of rocks is still quite difficult. Zhao Yuan decided to go to the holy land of his childhood, the riverbank treasure, to explore his luck. It is believed that many people have found flint by the riverbank when they were young. It is pebble-shaped, milky white, and can produce sparks with just a few clicks, so flint is also called white flint. However, when Zhao Yuan grew up and read books, he found that the color of flint should be dark gray or black. He also tried to use it, and it can indeed create sparks. But in fact, in nature, it is impossible for things to grow exactly according to the book. There is no consensus on the color of flint, which is determined by other attached minerals. Even as long as the stone is hard enough and not too hard to produce a small amount of debris, it can ignite sparks. Zhao Yuan is now going to the riverbank, and whether he finds black or white, he will try to hit it to see if sparks will emerge. In the vicinity where there are living organisms, there must be rivers and streams. Zhao Yuan quickly heard the sound of water and came to the small river. He successfully found several pieces of flint, all of which were white. Just as Zhao Yuan was preparing to go back, he suddenly heard a strange sound coming from not far away from the Shuyuan website www.zhaoyuan.com. Buzzing. This is the sound made by the eardrums under the wings of bees, and by listening to the sound, their volume is not small. Large bees are usually highly toxic. If their venom sacs are removed and applied to the head of the stone spear, it can further enhance the overall strength of their skeleton army. And Zhao Yuan and his skeleton soldiers, all covered in bones, had no reason to fear bee venom, so they strode towards the sound source. Buzz. Buzz. A piercing and unbearable cry came, and a group of black bees gathered around a hive from all directions, each about the size of a thumb, with two sharp needle-like spines on the back and a reddish-brown luster at the tail. It seems that there are at least 1,000 of them, and no creatures will find themselves bored and provoke them. But for skeleton soldiers, losing the advantage of bee venom is simply easier to kill than ants. At this point, Zhao Yuan used the Demon King's true eye to identify their attributes. Big-headed magic bee, Constitution. 0.2, Spirit. 0.4, Agile. 1.2, Power. 0.3, this group of big-headed magic bees, except for their agility breakthrough of 1, all others are below 0.5. Zhao Yuan naturally won't let them go and immediately ordered the skeleton soldiers to charge towards the hive. The big-headed magic bees saw a creature approaching and immediately lit up their venomous needles to stab Zhao Yuan and others. Can be pierced on his body, Zhao Yuan is painless and even takes a long time to show some health deduction, and his stone spear mercilessly harvests his life. The experience value also increased slightly as a result. Successfully killed 10 big-headed magic bees, experience, +1. Chapter 8. Exposure. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Successfully killed 10 big-headed magic bees, experience, +1, successfully killed 10 big-headed magic bees, experience, +1, successfully killed 10 big-headed magic bees, experience, +1, Zhao Yuan and the skeleton soldiers killed for about 10 minutes, and the ground was piled with the corpses of the big-headed magic bees. They died in different postures, with their limbs and wings scattered all over the ground. The emerald-green blood seeped into the soil, forming a green lake. And Zhao Yuan's experience points have also successfully broken through to level 4, and before breaking through, he used up all his magic points as usual. A total of 26 thorny entanglements, along with the previous 7 summoning of skeleton soldiers, completed today's daily task about spirit. Zhao Yuan, level 4, experience value 40/500, disposable free points. 2, use skill 30 times, completed, updated daily at midnight, spirit, plus 0.1, spirit. 5.25.3, magic value. 520/530, thorn winding LV1, proficiency. 42/100, proficiency. 68/100, although there is still a small group of big-headed magic bees in the air that have not been completely killed, they are no longer the climate. Their green bean-sized brains have also come to understand that their attacks are useless against the skeleton soldiers in front of them. A small part of them fly into the beehive, ready to escort the queen bee away. Zhao Yuan's sharp eyes immediately noticed that one of the big-headed magic bees had a plump body and was preparing to leave with the support of a small group of magic bees. Behind it was a huge spike, like a sharp dagger, emitting a cold light. Its body is several times larger than an ordinary magic bee, with a pair of huge golden wings that sparkle with dazzling light. Its body presents black and gold stripes. Especially the big head, which seemed to be even bigger than its body, looked particularly clumsy when flying and needed the help of other magic bees to support it. Zhao Yuan finally understood why they called it the big head magic bee. This head is even bigger than its body, and he knew a Doryman in his lifetime. Big-headed demon bee king, constitution. 0.3, spirit. 0.8, agility. 0.5, Power. 0.6. Zhao Yuan identified the opponent's attributes and confirmed that they were indeed the king of this group of big-headed magic bees. He immediately fired a shot, accurately hitting the opponent's head with a fatal blow. Successfully killed a big-headed demon bee queen, experience, plus 10, experience value. 50 out of 500, the big-head demon bee swarm saw that their queen had been killed and immediately returned to the hive, hoping to use the worker bee larvae to urgently build a queen's nest. After escaping from here, they could cultivate a new queen bee, but they were still stabbed to death by the stone spear in Zhao Yuan's hand. So repeatedly, until the last big-headed magic bee died, Zhao Yuan hardly saw any escaping from the battle, all of them dedicating themselves to their large group. Experience value. 72 out of 500, just how strong will the toxins in these big-headed magic bees' bodies be? Looking at the pile of corpses of the big-headed magic bees on the ground, Zhao Yuan picked up one of them and carefully examined it. After all, when he had just fought against them, the enemy's toxin had never had an effect on him. So Zhao Yuan has no idea how strong the toxin of the big-headed magic bee is. If he works hard to move it back and apply it to the spearhead, and the result is very little or negligible, then he will not only work hard but also give himself a wrong estimate and fall into danger. Go and catch 3 animals of the same species with similar body sizes. After Zhao Yuan gave orders to the skeleton soldiers, he grabbed the belly of the big-headed magic bee, took out the venom sac inside, and evenly applied it to the spearhead, revealing a thin layer of emerald green. Not long after he had done all of this, the skeleton soldiers caught 3 rabbits of similar size. One of them had both ears caught and was still chewing on green grass, with its lips trembling as if it had nothing to do. It looked like an old man, out of place with the other 2 trembling rabbits. What a arrogant rabbit! Zhao Yuan does not allow such a powerful rabbit to exist nearby. A poisonous spear pierced the opponent's right leg, instantly emitting thick green blood. Then, he used a non-toxic spear to pierce the right foot of another rabbit, and the last one did nothing. In this way, a control group and 2 experimental groups were completed, and the differences between them could be clearly known, thus determining the strength of the big-headed magic bee toxin. However, when Zhao Yuan just pulled out the non-toxic spear from the rabbit, he found that the rabbit in front had no longer breathed, but the other party had chewed the grass in their mouth at the last moment before death, which was not in vain. Successfully killed a rabbit, experience, plus 1, what a domineering toxin. Seeing this scene, Zhao Yuan was both surprised and delighted. If it weren't for the ineffective poison of the big-headed magic bee, he would not have been able to kill them all with his current strength, even if he had died 10 times. I don't know how many rabbits' bodies are needed to summon a skeleton soldier. Since the experimental group's reaction is so obvious, there is no need to continue with this control experiment. Zhao Yuan killed 2 other rabbits and found that the summoning of the skeleton soldier could not be sensed. Even if it was released, it was also released in vain, so he asked the skeleton soldiers to catch other animals. So, Zhao Yuan led the skeleton soldiers to sweep around the area, killing a total of 50 small animals such as rabbits and summoning 10 skeleton soldiers from the previous 3. Later, when he tried to find them, he couldn't find any other animals on the book garden www.zhaoyuan.com. Successfully killed 49 small animals, experience, plus 49, collaborated to produce 60 simple stone spears, experience, plus 15, forged LV3, proficiency. 52/400, forged LV3, proficiency. 67/400. Can make forging techniques more proficient, resulting in more refined products, with the highest level being LV9, experience value. 137 out of 500, the small animals in this area have either been killed or fled, so Zhao Yuan gave up hunting and prepared to return home. Move away all the corpses of these big-headed magic bees. Zhao Yuan ordered the skeletal soldiers to move all the corpses of the big-headed magic bees on the ground back to the camp. When they arrived at the cave, they smeared them one by one onto the spearheads. Halfway through, Zhao Yuan suddenly heard a howl of wolves. Ahem, ahem, ahem. Is it the howling of wolves? Zhao Yuan listened carefully again and found that the direction of the wolf howl was the location of his territory. Has it been exposed? After determining the direction, Zhao Yuan frowned slightly. He didn't expect the speed to be so fast, but in just an instant, that negative emotion was suppressed. Let's take a look at the quantity first. If there is more, give up there. If there is less, take them. I just received a bunch of toxins from the big-headed magic bees, and the situation is not very bad. Zhao Yuan instructed the skeleton soldiers to apply toxins to the spikes of their respective stone spears, and also instructed them to apply the 2 spare stone spears together, so that they could be used for long-range shooting. After completing the preparation work, he took a small path and sneaked to the outskirts of the camp. He found a large number of demon wolves surrounding his cave, roughly estimated to be 200, blocking it completely. Chapter 9. Is not installed anymore, I just turned it on. You are listening at novel full.audio. The demon wolf led by him is 2 meters tall and 3 meters long, with a strong and muscular body. He has sharp horns on his head, blue eyes like water, and exudes a chilling and fierce aura. He is patting the ground with his claws. And Zhao Yuan's 30 skeleton soldiers, although not professionally trained, had no biological fear. They grabbed stone spears, arranged them together, and aimed their spears at the surrounding pack of magic wolves, without any substantial flaws. They remained deadlocked with the magic wolves. The quantity is a bit too much. Zhao Yuan quickly counted the number of magic wolves in the pack, which should be 153, slightly less than he had previously guessed, but it is not ruled out that there are still hidden ones or those he missed counting. 1-headed demon wolf, and 10 should be the little demon wolf leaders. But on his own side, along with the 21 skeleton soldiers behind him, there are only 52 effective troops. The enemy is about 3 times more numerous than him, and his magic value has only been restored to over 420. Summoning up to 14 more skeleton soldiers will have no magic available. Even if Zhao Yuan kills 30.7 more demon wolves midway, he can level up, return to full state, and summon 17 skeleton soldiers. However, there is a huge difference in military strength. How many skeleton soldiers can be left before 30, 20, or 10? Let's first test the attributes of the leading demon wolf. Demon wolf leader, Constitution. 3.3, Spirit. 1.8, Agile. 3.2, Power. 2.8, Isn't it the demon wolf king? While Zhao Yuan breathed a sigh of relief, he became worried again. The attributes of the demon wolf leader in front of him were not as high as he had imagined, and he could completely abuse the opponent on point 1. But just a demon wolf leader, with so many demon wolf followers, the demon wolf king must have at least 3 times more demon wolf followers from the opponent in order to subdue the crowd, otherwise how can he be called a king? That is to say, the real danger is still ahead. Do you want to fight? This question came to Zhao Yuan's mind. After careful consideration, he decided to fight, preferably completely devouring this group of demon wolves and expanding his own army of skeleton soldiers. His own camp has been exposed, and the territory representing the demon wolf king is no longer accommodating him. This escape will inevitably result in losing more than half of the skeleton soldiers and fleeing to other places like a bereaved dog to survive. He may even run back and forth and stay in their territory, eventually being surrounded by a pack of wolves and beaten to death. After all, don't forget that Zhao Yuan's skeletal body has an irresistible attraction to the demon wolf. Now that his position has been exposed, as long as he is on someone else's territory or near it, he will eventually be bitten to death by the demon wolf king himself. Moreover, if he doesn't win or loses, Zhao Yuan can also escape. Why run away now? He can also gain a wave of experience and kill a few more demon wolves, so that he can have fewer enemies to escape from in the future. Zhao Yuan, who made up his mind, first added his 2 points of freedom to his own spirit and leadership. Spirit. 5.36.3, Magic Value. 530-630, Commander. 45, Current Maximum Commanding Force. 75, Current Commanding Force. 51, Command the skeleton soldiers behind to put the body of the big-headed magic bee aside and hide it. Using their poisonous spears, they aimed at the group of magic wolves and fired a salvo. Whoosh whoosh. A total of 22 poison spears were thrown into the pack of magic wolves, successfully piercing 10 of them with a hit rate of nearly 50%. It was truly a possession of the goddess of luck. The demon wolves who were stabbed died shortly after spitting out blood due to their high toxicity. Successfully killed 10 magic wolves, experience, plus 100, the other demon wolves instantly burst into flames, howling and looking around vigilantly, but couldn't find any trace of Zhao Yuan. They then focused their attention on the 30 skeleton soldiers in front of them. The group of skeleton soldiers saw this spear piercing the rain, as if receiving an order from Zhao Yuan. They also threw out their stone spears, threw them towards the demon wolf pack, and then retrieved the stone spears again. Whoosh whoosh. 30 stone spears were thrown into the pack of wolves, but due to their close proximity, they also stabbed 11 demon wolves. However, they did not apply poison, and the ones who were stabbed did not die. Instead, they aroused their blood and couldn't help it anymore. Roar. At this moment, the demon wolf leader let out a loud howl and ordered the demon wolves to charge forward, completely breaking the deadlock. They rushed towards one of the skeleton soldiers, jumped past the opponent's stone spear, pressed against it, and began to bite. Let go. Zhao Yuan gave another command, and 21 poison spears were thrown out again. Unfortunately, he only harvested 6 magic wolves this time, but it was enough. The poison spear in his hand aimed at one of the small leaders of the magic wolves in the chaos, and he fiercely thrust it, deadly with one shot. Successfully killed 6 demon wolves, experience, plus 60, successfully killed a demon wolf leader, experience, plus 40, summoning of skeleton soldiers. Zhao Yuan immediately consumed 420 magic points, summoned 14 skeleton soldiers, drew out the last poisonous spear on his body, and commanded all skeleton soldiers. Kill all those demon wolves. The skeleton soldiers immediately picked up their spears and charged towards the pack of magic wolves. The newly summoned unarmed skeleton soldiers also pounced on the surrounding magic wolves and bit their throats. Zhao Yuan himself, on the other hand, picked up a pile of corpses of big-headed magic bees, hid behind the skeleton soldiers, and cautiously ran to the pile of spears. He found the Shuyuan website www.zhaoshuyuan.com and applied toxins to one stone spear after another. From time to time, the demon wolf approached and was also poisoned to death by his spear, falling to the ground. After a round of attack, Zhao Yuan lost 20 skeleton soldiers, and 16 demon wolves were killed. However, 5 of them were stabbed to death by him with poison spears, and most of the other 11 also died on the poison spears of the skeleton soldiers. If there were no poison spear, skull soldiers would only lose more, and magic wolves would only die less. We still need the last one to upgrade. Zhao Yuan looked at his experience points and was only 3 points away. He immediately threw a poison spear and stabbed one of the demon wolves, gaining 10 points of experience. Subsequently, a text came to his mind that shocked him to the point where he needed to suppress, "The bones of the realm of sin are ultimately king," twice. Zhao Yuan, level 5, Constitution. 3.2, Spirit. 6.3, Agile. 3.2, Power. 2.2, Commander. 5, Health. 800 out of 800, Magic Value. 945/945, Experience Value. 7 out of 1000, Current Maximum Commanding Force. 100, Current Commanding Force. 45, Disposable Free Points. 5. Choose one of 3 skills from a necromancer. Soul Fire, Bone Spear, and Eye of Fear, Druid skill choice of 3. Ground Stab, Mockery, and Wooden Spirit Armor. Oh my goodness, what happened? Zhao Yuan's emotions were very stable under the suppression of, the bones of the realm of sin will eventually become king, but he couldn't help but feel emotional inside. Did this upgrade hit the main artery of the system, causing it to explode gold coins fiercely? Chapter 10. Winners. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The ratio of constitution to health is 1.250, the ratio of spirit to magic is 1.150, and the ratio of commander to troops is 1.20. Just reaching the 5th level, the changes are so significant. What kind of improvement will there be in the next 10 or 15 levels? At this moment, Zhao Yuan also realized that his upgrade system should be a watershed every 5 levels, and after improvement, his strength will make a huge leap. Now, he no longer needs to be afraid of the demon wolf leader in front of him. In almost an instant, Zhao Yuan added 2 points to his spirit and 3 points to his command. Spirit. 6.38.3, Commander. 5.8, Magic Value. 945-1245, Current Maximum Commanding Force. 100-160, Current Commanding Force. 45, Skill. Skeleton Soldier summons LV1, Proficiency. 41/100, Proficiency. 55 out of 100, after adding attributes, Zhao Yuan didn't have time to carefully observe his skill choices. He rolled and dodged the attack of a demon wolf, then used a poison spear to stab the opponent to death. Immediately, Zhao Yuan used 20 thorns to entangle the closest demon wolves and ordered the skeleton soldiers to kill them. Unable to resist, they were easily killed, but there were still 5 skeleton soldiers bitten to death by other demon wolves. After all, the difference in numbers was still too large. Summoning of skeleton soldiers. Seeing this scene, Zhao Yuan summoned a corresponding number of skeleton soldiers from the bodies of 20.3 demon wolves, including those that had just died and those that remained before. In an instant, there was only a difference of 35 between the number of skeleton soldiers and the number of magic wolves. Although the difference was still significant, there was no longer the feeling of powerlessness before. Thorns entangle, kill. Zhao Yuan used 7 thorns to entangle, with his magic value reaching its bottom, and ordered all the skeleton soldiers to charge forward. He used this precious time to continue hiding at the back, smearing the toxin of the big-headed magic bee on the spearhead, and continuously throwing it. His hit rate was close to 100%, and only once did he aim at the small leader of the magic wolf, allowing the opponent to dodge. Time passes by minute by second, and every attack is accompanied by the sound of blood splattering, bones shattering, and the howling of the demon wolf, which is chilling. The battle between the Skull Corps and the Magic Wolf group is finally coming to an end. On this chaotic battlefield, there are only 7 skeleton soldiers left, while there are still 20 magic wolves left, 1 big leader of the magic wolves, 9 small leaders of the magic wolves, and 10 ordinary magic wolves. In terms of quantity alone, Zhao Yuan suffered a disastrous defeat on his own side, leaving only 7 skeleton soldiers dead. However, neither his face nor his heart could feel any emotional fluctuations. Watching himself recover to 52 magic points, Zhao Yuan twisted 2 thorns and entangled a small head of a demon wolf. He then threw a poison spear and dealt a fatal blow. Successfully killed a demon wolf leader, experience, plus 40, Zhao Yuan, level 6, experience value. 37/1200, disposable free points. 2, Zhao Yuan's state instantly returned to full, and next came the moment of slaughter. Summoning of skeleton soldiers. Zhao Yuan waved his right hand and summoned 40.1 skeleton soldiers from among the many corpses of the demon wolves, along with the previous 7, to surround the remaining 19 demon wolves. Skeleton soldier summoning LV1, proficiency. 78/100, Skeleton Soldier Summoning LV2, Proficiency. 19/200, Skeleton Soldier, Constitution. 1.5, Spirit. 1.5, Agile. 1.5, Power. 1.5, among the re-summoned skeleton soldiers, 19 of them achieved all attributes of 1.5. The defeat of the demon wolf leader has become a foregone conclusion, and it seems to know its own ending. The fur on its body is filled with the blood of its companions, panting heavily, and its eyes are filled with fatigue, howling in the sky unwillingly. Ow! Previously, it led 152 demon wolves, so full of energy, but now it has only 18 remaining demon wolves by its side, so disheveled, like a lost dog, completely losing its color in its eyes. With the last howl of the wolf ceasing, the demon wolf leader confessed his life, fell to the ground, gave up resistance, and died under Zhao Yuan's poisonous spear. Successfully killed 10 magic wolves, experience, plus 100, successfully killed 8 demon wolf leaders, experience, plus 320, successfully killed a demon wolf leader, experience, plus 100, experience value. 557/1200, it's finally over. Zhao Yuan let out a long sigh, feeling exhausted both physically and mentally, but also immersed in the immense joy of victory. Leading 51 skeleton soldiers to kill 153 demon wolves, this achievement can be said to be dazzling. However, Zhao Yuan did not take it lightly. He asked the 20.4 skeleton soldiers to clean the battlefield, move their companions and the bodies of the demon wolf together, and then conveniently summon the skeleton soldiers. He also asked the other 20.4 skeleton soldiers to help him apply the toxin of the big-headed demon bee to the stone spear. At this moment, a paragraph came to Zhao Yuan's mind again. Exciting and unparalleled battle, rewarding the host with a magic point every second to restore the effect for 3 hours. Can you restore a bit of magic every second for 3 hours? Zhao Yuan murmured that after reaching level 5, his magic value would recover in about 5 or 6 seconds. The richness of this reward goes without saying, but it seems more like the system provided it specifically to him through the book garden www.zhaozhuiyuan.com to help him digest the fruits of these demon wolf corpses more quickly. There will be another fierce battle waiting for him afterwards. However, there is still a long way to go before the magic value is fully restored, and Zhao Yuan has enough time to choose skills for himself. Choose 1 out of 3 skills from a necromancer, Soul Fire. Throw a ball of soul fire that will explode when hitting an enemy, causing damage to the target and consuming 30 mana points. The highest level is LV9, Bone Spear. Launches a piercing bone spear forward, dealing damage to passing enemies, consuming 25 mana points, with a maximum level of LV9, Eye of Fear. Blue ghostly flames emerge from both eyes, causing the target object to fall into fear. It costs 35 mana points and the highest level is LV9, please select, no need to comment too much, they are all good skills, especially the first skill, Soul Fire, which is Zhao Yuan's most lacking powerful output skill now, and Bone Spear is also good. But the effect of the Eye of Fear skill may be more cost-effective in the later stage. It is not difficult to upgrade and obtain a powerful output skill, but it is not easy to obtain another skill like the Eye of Fear. Successfully selected the Fear Eye skill, Druid skill 1 out of 3, Ground Spike. Rush out a ground spike from the ground, attack the enemy, cause damage, consume 25 mana points, highest level is LV9, Ridicule. Ridicule an enemy, make them attack you first, consume 5 magic points, and the highest level is LV9, Wood Spirit Armor. Using friendship with Wood Spirit, create a set of spirit armor on oneself or other creatures' bodies. It is invisible to the naked eye and has no weight. It works when attacked and lasts for 30 minutes under normal circumstances. The consumption of magic points is determined by the size of the host's body, with the highest level being LV9. Please select.